Have you ever tried to comfort someone, only to realize that what you said didn't help at all? Maybe you were trying to reassure them, to offer solutions, but instead of making them feel better, they just got more upset. It's frustrating, right? Not because you don't care, but because knowing what to say in the moment isn't always easy. Hi, my name is Rita Kamishiro, and as someone who loves getting immersed in story-driven games, as well as talking about mental health and related topics, I often take the time while playing games to explore the various emotional experiences the characters go through. Today, we'll be unpacking what went down in one of my favorite scenes in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, as well as talking about what we can learn from it. But before we jump in, let's set the scene for those unfamiliar with the game. In Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Noah, Mio, and their allies are suddenly forced to work together as Ouroboros after a chance encounter with a rebel soldier. Learning that they share a common enemy in the mysterious Mobius, the group sets out for the city at Sword March to find answers. Along the way, they liberate colonies from the oppressive control of Mobius, wielding newfound powers and growing closer as a team. However, beneath Mio's determined exterior lies a haunting reality. She only has 3 months left to live. As Ouroboros presses forward, the weight of time bears heavily on Mio, setting the stage for the scene we're about to unpack. The group is starting to see their destination in the distance. However, it's still a ways away. They decide to stop for the evening and head out first thing in the morning. When the group takes care of their nightly routine, Mio accidentally drops a plate while doing the dishes. She starts looking visibly distressed, placing her hand over her turn marker as she wonders if she's losing feeling in her hands. Noah, unaware of her emotional state, walks up to Mio, and this is where our encounter begins. Let's take a look.
Tomorrow, we'll finally reach the castle lands. I want us to be at our readiest. We should run one final check of everyone's equipment.
Fine for you, isn't it? All that time you've got. We keep taking this at such a casual pace. Now Sword March seems so distant.
Mia?
What am I even doing? I can't.
You still have 2 months left. If we take care of this now, we can ensure the colony's safety. Just maybe, we can make an ally of people in the castle. It'll make getting to Sword March a bit easier.
Still! It's 2 months. Might as well be nothing.
But you did agree to doing this.
Well, yeah, but I know I did, but
Look, I know it was a snap decision. I understand why you're upset. Let's just take it easy tonight. Take a moment to breathe.
why wouldn't I be upset? Take what easy? We rest today, and tomorrow, before I know it, it'll be time. And then I'll be...
I mean, I get that, but we...
You don't get it! Not at all!
What the spark?
That didn't go super well. Knowing the context of the game, Mio's upset about stopping for the night. She's been feeling anxious about running out of time before getting answers at Sword March. When Noah mentions that he wants to take a bit of extra time to do something that could better prepare them for the journey ahead, Mio is once again reminded of what's been making her feel uneasy. It feels scary and isolating, being reminded about how Noah and the others have more time, since he appears to not be as worried as she is about getting to Sword March. Where we start to see the communication breakdown is when Noah, while trying to be sympathetic and calm Mio down, fails to acknowledge the depth of her emotions, and instead approaches the situation too logically. Let's take a moment to talk about empathy versus sympathy. In The Power of Vulnerability by Dr. Brené Brown, she highlights the difference between the two in a much simpler way. Sympathy is feeling for someone, whereas empathy is feeling with them. When a friend loses their job, sympathy is, I feel bad for you, or I'm so sorry for your loss. And empathy is, I know how stressful that can be, and I'm here for you. We often default to sympathy when we're uncomfortable with someone else's pain. It's a way to keep some emotional distance. But empathy requires a conscious, vulnerable choice. To truly connect with someone, we have to tap into our own experiences and emotions that mirror theirs. When faced with difficult conversations, we instinctively try to fix things or offer solutions. But most of the time, there's no perfect response that will magically make things better right away. What really helps in the moment isn't a solution. It's feeling heard and knowing you're not alone. The key issue here is that Noah approaches the moment like a problem to be managed. But Mio needs someone to feel with her, not think for her. This becomes clear in the way Noah responds to Mio's frustration. When he tells her she still has 2 months left, he likely means to reassure her, to remind her that there's still time. But to Mio, that time feels impossibly short. Instead of acknowledging how overwhelming that must be, his words minimize her fear, making it seem like she should feel better about something that, to her, might as well be no time at all. Then, rather than focusing on Mio's feelings, Noah shifts the conversation to their mission, talking about how their actions will help the colonies and make their journey easier. It's not that these things aren't important, but they aren't what Mio is upset about. Right now, she isn't worried about logistics or long-term goals. She's consumed by the weight of her own mortality, and by steering the conversation away from that, Noah unintentionally makes her feel even more alone in her fear. When he reminds her that she agreed to do this mission, it comes across as dismissive of her emotions. Yes, she made the choice to help, but that doesn't mean she isn't allowed to struggle with it. A decision can be the right one and still be painful. Instead of validating her feelings, Noah's words make it seem like she should just accept the situation without complaint, which only deepens her frustration. Even when he finally acknowledges that the decision was made quickly and that he understands why she's upset, he follows it up with, "Let's just take it easy." But that's the problem. Mio can't take it easy. The passage of time is suffocating her, and she doesn't have the luxury of stepping away from that reality. Finally, when Noah says, I get that, but he tries once again to reason with her, rather than truly listening, and that's what pushes Mio over the edge. She's been trying to make him understand, but all she hears is dismissal, redirection, and logic. That's why she snaps. Because in that moment, Noah doesn't get it at all. His words, though well-intentioned, create distance instead of connection. But what do you even say in this situation? Instead of focusing solely on trying to offer solutions, he could try to acknowledge her feelings and validate her emotions with something like, "I can't even begin to pretend to know what you're going through, but I know it must be terrifying. You have every right to feel this way. You're not alone in this. If you need to talk about it, I'm here for you." And Noah did end up following up to do something just like that. The following day, the pair meet up, exchange their apologies, and Noah says, "It must be tough for you, I'm sure," and leaves some space for Mio to talk about her past, as well as what she needs in that moment. That follow-up is just as important as the scene itself. None of us are perfect, and it's inevitable that we'll miss the mark sometimes, especially in emotionally charged moments. What matters is what we do next. By taking the time to check in with Mio the next day, Noah shows that even though he didn't get everything right in the moment, he's still there for her. That simple act of circling back gives Mio the space to open up about her past and feel truly heard. Empathy exists on a spectrum, and you're not a bad person for how you may naturally feel it. Being empathetic is also a skill that takes time and practice. Some people naturally pick up on emotions, while others need to consciously learn how to tune in. Neither way is better or worse, but it's important to remember that struggling to respond perfectly doesn't make someone cold or uncaring. What really matters is the willingness to learn, listen, and keep showing up. Noah's growth in this scene reminds us that empathy isn't about solving the problem right away and getting it right every time. It's about being present, staying open, and doing your best to understand the people around you. Noah isn't a bad guy. We as viewers can analyze this scene because we have the ability to pause, rewind, replay, and reflect. But in real life, conversations happen in the moment, and we don't always get it right. And that's okay. You're not going to say the perfect thing every time. No one does. So don't be too hard on yourself. Mistakes in communication don't make you a failure, nor do they make you a bad person. they're opportunities to understand others better. What matters is that we learn what helps for different people, and we keep trying to support the people we care about. When someone is struggling, don't focus on finding the perfect response. Just be present, listen, empathize. It's not about having all the answers. It's about validating their feelings and showing that you care. At the end of the day, we're only human. We won't always know exactly what someone else is feeling, and we're bound to misunderstand or even hurt each other sometimes. But what matters is that we learn from those moments and find better ways to love and support one another. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have other scenes from not just Xenoblade, but any other video games, or maybe even anime you want me to dig my teeth into and analyze, let me know in the comments below, or let me know in the comments what your favorite Xenoblade scenes are. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out my streams, and be sure to subscribe and check out my next video.